In this video, we're going to be looking at the National 4 practice assessment on page 29. It's very similar to the actual National 4 assessment. So if you can do this, you can do the National 4 assessment. So I'm not actually going to show the code for this because that would just be giving the answers away almost to the assessment, but I will show the theory behind what's happening for this program. So let's highlight the variables as usual. And then there's quite a lot in this one. And the conditions, so this is actually a condition. Remember, the equals in caps is just the same as writing equals equals. Okay, not too bothered about them, right? Arrows. One awful arrow. Okay, so this is the true path. This is the false. This is the true path. This is the false. Okay, and then once you've finished all that, alright, it's going to go round 4 times. It's going to ask you those 2 questions 4 times. Or it's going to check the answers 4 times, should I say. So 4 is going from 0 to 3. And then once you finish that, you're really just printing out stuff. So let's put them in the columns. So chalk count, I'm going to make C count. Should mention the whole point of this program is it counts chalks and cheeses depending on what the user writes. So it's an awful name because they both start with C, right? So okay, I guess I'm writing chalk count and cheese count, and receive username counter. Remember, you can just write I if you want instead of counter. Receive result, so we've got result, and we've got result equals cheese, and we've run out of space. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to be a bit awkward, but I'll make another. That should be chalk anyway, but it doesn't matter. We'll go result equals chalk, and the world's worst column down the side. So a bit of a weird order, but it should still be useful. So chalk count is set to 0 to begin with. So it's a running total program again, but there's 2 running totals. How many chalks we've got and how many cheeses. So there's a username. So the username we get from the keyboard, it is Steve. And where is it? For counter from 0 to 3, so we start counting in our loop 0. Receive result from string keyboard. So the first result we get is chalk, and so yeah, we get that here, and it checks if result equals chalk. Well, it does. So this one, this column, remember it's a bit weird the way I've done it, is true, and we add 1 to chalk count. So chalk count goes up by 1, because it's the reason it adds 1 is because chalk count is currently 0, and then you add +1. So every time I get to these lines from now on, I'm just going to say +1. Now, what happens here? Nothing happens here. This is not false, because when this is true, it doesn't actually try this. It already has its first answer, so it just jumps to there, and then we go back round. So the counter goes up by 1, and then we try it again, so we get chalk again. chalk. And then again, if result equals chalk, well, this is true, and the counter goes up by 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. We go back around, we skip this, counter goes up by 1 again, we get to 2. What's the next result? It's cheese. Cheese. And if result equals chalk, well, it doesn't. So this time it's a false. And then it will go here and it will try this one. So result equals cheese. Well, does cheese equal cheese? Yeah, it does. So true. And then you add cheese count to cheese count plus 1. Or sorry, set cheese count to cheese count plus 1. So we just add 1 to this, which is 0. So we've got 1 cheese now. Go back around, the counter goes up again. This is our final goal because we're at 3 and 3 here. And where are we? I'm losing my train of thought. Right, result. So result is cheese. And then if result equals chalk, well, it doesn't. It's a false. And if result equals cheese there, yep, it does. So we add 1 to cheese count. And so that will give us 2, not 1. Right, finally escape the loop. We go down here. Send hello username. So we go hello Steve, because we typed in Steve earlier, and it will say you have, and it will say chalk count, so 2 chalks and 2 cheeses. And that is the program. So good luck programming it, I guess. Right, bye.